have a bit of a diva dog with us today. This room, you can't see it, but it's in a bit of a shambles, but Blue wants to come in here and sit with me, but there's no room for her to sit. So you might see her pop in and out here trying to rack her brain about where she can sit, but there isn't really any place for her in here, unfortunately. Well, and if you hear her cry, she just wants attention. That's all she wants. So you don't need to worry about her. Hello, and welcome to episode 24 of the Cozy Moth Knits podcast. My name is Caitlin, and this is a podcast dedicated to all the fiber arts crafts that I do. I say all of them, but there's really only two that I do as of right now. Knitting and crocheting, but crocheting very, very little. I'm only doing one project with crocheting. But it's mostly a knitting podcast where I sit here and do a little monthly podcast where I talk about what I've been working on, what I finished, any acquisitions I acquired, etc. So here we are on a Monday. I'm about a day late in film, or 2 days late to film this. In the past, I normally try to get a podcast out on the last Sunday of every month, just to show you what I've been working on. But life has been a little bit crazy, so I'm probably filming and editing this podcast on the same day. So yeah, again, it's a lovely sunny Monday here in Delaware. I live here in Delaware with my husband and my two dogs, May and Blue. They like to make appearances, Blue especially. She is right here with us, sitting on the floor in the one open spot she could find where she could sit. So you might hear some jingling of the tags on her collar. You might hear some crying. You might hear some barking from May, because May's our little watchdog. Whenever someone drives past our street, she needs to let us know. But yeah, so that's what's happening here at the podcast. So again, I apologize for the lateness of this video if you're watching this as it comes out. The past month has been pretty crazy. For it being the shortest month of the year, I feel like it's gone on forever. There's so much that happened that it's hard to it feels like it was so long ago, but it was really only a couple weeks ago. I guess to catch you up to speed, in the beginning of February, I went to Florida with my family. We went to Disney World, Orlando, went to Disney World, Universal Studios, etc. Stayed in, the Orlando general area. And it was just a fun little family vacation in the middle of February, which was nice. We had flown out the day after a snowstorm, so it was perfect timing. And while we were down in Florida, I got some wonderful news that the library that I've been working with part-time since about August of 2021 had offered me a full-time position and wanted me to start as soon as possible. So that was pretty great news. It was a huge blessing. For those of you who don't know, if you're just new here, welcome, number one. Number two, I have had a long and extraneous journey towards librarianship. I have been working, there were some hiccups in the road with me getting my bachelor's degree. Nothing it was there were things that were beyond my control that I couldn't change, unfortunately. So I had to take a extended pause to get my bachelor's degree. And then right after my bachelor's degree, I went and got my master's of library science. And while I was finishing my bachelor's degree and working towards my master's degree, it has been a hard road to try to get into a library because like I worked at a library at my previous undergraduate institution, but because I had to leave that school, I couldn't find another library job in my area. Either people weren't hiring or they weren't interested in hiring me because I didn't have my degree, and for other reasons that, like, it's a whole other story that I won't bore you with. But right before COVID, or right before the pandemic hit Delaware, I had gotten a part-time position at the institution I work for now, literally 3 days before they shut the institution down because of COVID. So my position was terminated, and what year are we in? A year and a half later, they reached back out to me and said, "Hey, like, do you want to come back?" And I said, "Absolutely." But it was part-time, so I couldn't leave my full-time job. For financial reasons, I couldn't live off of a part-time income. So I had been working 65 plus hours a week ever since August of 2021. So it's been long and excruciating. And they finally offered me a full-time position, which was, like I said, an amazing blessing. So, the Monday I got back from our trip to Florida, I told my old jobs that I was not coming back after that week, that I was starting a new career. And that was a little bit tumultuous um, for that week. They obviously were not happy. I had been with them for 6 years, but they knew that I wasn't going to be there forever. They knew that I was working this part-time job and that it would eventually turn full-time, or at least that was the plan, that was the hope. But they weren't very happy about it. So that last week was pretty rough on me mentally. But it is what it is. So I am now going into my 3rd week full-time at this place. I'm not going to tell you where it is, like, no offense, but like, I don't want to share that part of my life with you, but just know that I am at a library. I'm not a librarian just yet. I am library assistant, so I can start building up experience, and then the hope is hopefully soon I'll be able to graduate towards librarian. Everyone knows I have my master's degree there. It's just at this point waiting for a librarian position to open and for me to be there for a little bit longer. It's very bureaucratic over there. So it's a whole thing. So that's been the big thing in my life. In February was a very big month. So getting used to a new schedule, which my hours are very strange. But I knew that's what I was getting into with this. They are pretty understaffed in my department, so I'm just filling in where no one else can, basically. So it's like 3 late nights, and then 2 like regular, like 8 to 5 or 8 to 4 days. So my sleep schedule is a little weird right now. Then my free time is a little bit like flip-flopped and a little strange, but it is what it is. It's not going to be forever. So we'll just see how things go. But I am very happy to finally take one large step towards librarianship, and like, there's going to be some other little steps along the way, getting to full librarianship, but it'll happen one day. I know it will. I just gotta, praise God for his timing. It was absolutely perfect. While I, was heartbroken about losing that library position back in 2022, it was perfect because I was able to work through the pandemic without having, I was never laid off, thank God, from my full-time job. And then, as things start to get a little bit better in the US, I put in big quotations, not like it was back in the beginning of the pandemic, but things are slowly getting better. But now that this position has opened up, or that it had opened up, and yeah, like it was all like in hindsight, like in the moment, it was very devastating. It was heartbreaking to me that I'm basically like 2 years behind my intended plan, which affects many other aspects of my life. Being, a married, almost 30-year-old woman, I don't feel like I have to go that far into it for many of you to understand. But I just have to keep remembering that, God's timing is perfect, and he, I'm just thankful that I was able to rely on him throughout the duration of it all, and him and my husband and my family and my church family, and you guys here, like you guys were, everyone has been so encouraging to me through it all. And yeah, it's again like just one big step, and it just like I'm just so happy. Like I know like no workplace is perfect, and this workplace is definitely far from perfect. But I've never been this happy. Like the past 2 years at my old job have been so miserable, and just being someplace where I want to be and have been working so hard to be for almost 10 years, maybe longer. It's just been amazing. And again, I all I can do is praise God for where I am today, and trust in Him to know that the future is in His hands and His timing is perfect. So yeah, so that's what's been going on with my life in February. Sorry to like go on and on about that, but yeah, it's been a huge part of my life, and it's been my whole life these past few weeks. So I figured I would share with you, the good news of what's been going on. So from there, I guess I will talk to you about my knitting. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? So I guess we'll start off with finished objects. And the first finished object that I have is one that I'm wearing right now. This is the Season Sweater by Haley Smedley of Odeozeta. And yeah, this is a sweater that I've been working on since like October of 2021, and I finally got it off the needles and blocked it, and it's here, and it's wonderful, and it's cozy and comfy. So again, here it is. I'll put some pictures on the screen, that way you can see like a better like full body kind of situation. But yeah, like this was a labor of love, to say the least. Like this was such, oh, I got blue finagling around here. But yeah, it was a long process. And what made the process so long was because this is a, full fisherman's rib. So like 1x1 rib is already excruciating enough, but fisherman's rib just made it go by a lot slower. And it is what it is. Like it's, like I'm not angry at the pattern writer or anything for that. That's just, how it happens. But I am so pleased with it for the most part. Like I'm very pleased with it. Like I said, it's very thick fabric, very squishy, very cozy, very fluffy. You can see this halo. I was worried because this was my first time blocking a garment, because like this is with wool, my goodness, with mohair in it, because I've always been so worried that like the mohair is gonna like lose its fluffiness, but it was actually quite the contrary. It made it so much more fluffier, and I'm very pleased with it. The yarn that I used was Odeozeta's yarn. I don't believe that she is currently selling it, but this is it. I bought it around this time last year. I have 3 skeins left over from it. I have a couple ideas of what to do with this. But so I used this and then held it double with Knit Picks mohair. I think it's called a loft. And it was just a warm cream color that I held double with this, and I like added a little bit of warmth to it. You can slightly see it, just slightly, just like one like half a shade warmer. But so yeah, that's what I used throughout the whole piece, or garment, I should say. And yeah, like it's a raglan construction, folded over neckline, or neck or whatever, neck hole, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, like it was just like it was lovely, and I'm upset that it took me so long to make it. Now we're at the end of February, beginning of March, and now it's going to start to get warmer again. I'm not going to be able to wear it as often, but I'm wearing it as often as I can. I wore it to church yesterday and out to dinner with my husband's family. Like I really like this sweater, and like I said, it's very comfy, very cozy, very squishy. I will say though that I guess because I've been so used to knitting these drop sleeve garments that it's been weird wearing a raglan construction. So I feel like it makes my shoulders look wider than what they really are. And I feel like the raglan decreases were just a little too short. I feel like maybe I could have benefited from like a couple more rows of the increases, because like it kind of like cuts under like really tight, but maybe it'll stretch out the more I wear it, which like I did when I blocked it. I tried to stretch out the body a little bit to kind of like bring it down a little bit, but it just like scrunched right back up. But so those are my only qualms with it, was the raglan increases. Odeozeta does have a similar sweater to this, where it's all fisherman's rib, but it's a drop sleeve sweater. I might make one of those in the future, but like it was like this sweater was so much fun to make, and it was enjoyable despite it being a long process. But it was really, again, really fun to work with, and I would totally make it again. Yeah, it's like I said, there's only so much I can say about it. I feel like I have a limited vocabulary when I'm talking about the stuff that I work on. All the words just fly out of my brain, and I'm like, it's cool, it's lovely, it's pretty. It's can't think of anything. But yeah, so that is the season sweater. I'm definitely gonna try to get a lot of use out of it before it starts to get a little bit too warm here. I was looking ahead at the weather. We're gonna get like some high 50s, low 60s. I would say like, oh, I could wear this in the library that I work at, but the library is so warm. Like I can't wear a sweater, especially a hand knit sweater in there, because like I went there the other day and worked, and all the running around that I did, I was drenched in sweat. Just like wearing like not even like a sweater like this, like something like kind of like a lighter sweater. I was so hot. And then my feet were hot. And like, do you guys like have that same thing? Like I feel like I'm weird this way. Like if my feet or my hands are too hot or too cold, like my day is ruined. Like if my feet are too hot, like I'm miserable. Just absolutely miserable. I'm like, no one talk to me, no one look at me. I need to like try to like thermoregulate my body the best that I can. And like, yeah, is so yeah, I probably won't be wearing this in the library, unfortunately, because I do really love it, but I would definitely be losing a lot of weight and sweat just by wearing this. Not even like doing a whole lot. Like I don't have to run around a whole lot to build up some sweat just by working in the library because it's so warm. I wish I could change that. At my old office, I used to work for a physical therapy clinic, and because people were exercising, they would always keep the clinic very cold so that people weren't sweating when they're working out. And now it's like flip-flopped. So now I'm like at this place where it's always warm because people don't like run around. Like they would do at my old job. It's a very sedentary job for a lot of people, so they keep the library warm. I've heard that like people work better in the cold. I think I know people sleep better in the cold, but I don't know. Maybe I'll advocate for that. I'm meeting with the head of the library in a couple of weeks, so I'll be like, bring the heat down to 65 all year round. 65, like. I don't know, but yeah. So again, that's the season sweater. Love it so much. I'm definitely gonna I know this is one that's gonna last a really long time. That like I'm glad that I invested the money that I did into the yarn, and like I said, this is one that's gonna hold up for forever, I think. So, okay, that's finished object number 1. I have one other finished object, but before I show you that, I did have 3 other finished objects, and if I posted a video on Valentine's Day, actually, where I had knit 3 hats for my husband for Valentine's Day. So if you want to see what those look like I'll insert a little clip here, I guess, or you can go check out the video. It's just a sweet little knit with me video, like, you know, short and sweet little knit with me video, 20 minutes long, which is very short for my type of videos. But, you know, just like, you know, sit along and, you know, sit and knit along with me knitting, where I have like some like cute little lo-fi music going. And then you get to see Phil, you get to see my husband, you get to see Blue, you get to see May. You know, it's a cute little video, I think. So those are my 3 other finished objects. And then I have these, which are another gift to Phil. But I ran out of time making them. But they are the Spinifex socks by Curious Handmade, and here they are. So I think last time I spoke I had 1 finished, so I finished the second one, and this is knit in Akara yarns, and it's like, I always save the things, and they're tweed fingering. They're tweed fingering base and just the color brown. But yeah, they're just, you know, nice little like, you know, like dress socks, I would say, based on the pattern. But yeah, like there's not really much to say about them except that, you know, they have this, you know, twisted, this twisted knit detail right here, and then in the pearls section, like there's like a backwards like star stitch, which I'm not really a big fan of. I feel like it looks a little messy, like kind of like you like messed up on the pearls, but that's just me. This is a toe up construction, and let me tell you, I'm never doing toe up socks again, unless like a good friend of mine like you know, makes a toe up sock. I'll do it for them. But I hate toe up socks. I hate them. They're so fiddly. They are so wonky. I hate it. I can't. Never again. I'll never do it again. They like, it just like makes me cringe, and that's why it took me so long to do the second sock. Like, yeah, I ran out of time, but also I didn't want to do it. But I did just finish. I finished the second sock in like a week. But I hated it. Like my disdain for toe up socks. I can't. Toe socks should always be knit cuff down. Always, full stop. Or at least like, I don't know. I tried like thinking about how I could do then, because I saw the pattern. I didn't realize when I bought the pattern that it was toe up. Trying to find a way to see if I could like reverse it, and I gave up. My brain for the beginning of the year has just not been working. In hindsight, I could have just done it. Like, it really wasn't that big of a deal, but like it's still, I already did 1 sock toe up, so I wasn't going to do the second one cuff down and like possibly like mess it up somehow. But here they are. Phil really likes them. They fit his feet very well. I told him that these aren't, because he like wears like work boots all day. Like, these are not work boot socks. These are socks that you wear with nice shoes. I don't want to see these in the wash because I believe it's non-super wash. Oh no, it is. Never mind. But still, I don't want to see these in a wash because like Phil has a tendency of taking the socks I knit for them and just throwing them in the wash. Because he does his own laundry and I do my own. So, and I'm just like, it hurts my soul when I see socks that I've knit for him, and like the colors are starting to fade. I'm just like, oh, I worked so hard on those. Now they're fading and they're pilling, and I'm like, oh well. I mean, it is what it is. They're his socks. He can do what he wants with them, I guess. But yeah. So yes, these are the Spinifex socks. Yeah, they suck. The Spinifex socks by Curious Handmade. Curious Handmade. I love. I love. I look at your finished object pictures and I really like them. But the process of making your stuff, I can't. Like, no, like, again, no offense to you as a person. I just can't with the way that like each row is written out, like in the graph, in the, I don't know. It's triggering to me. It's giving me like fight or flight response, when I look at her patterns, which again, no offense, you do make beautiful things, but like for me personally, it just doesn't work with my brain. But yep, Benefax socks, Akara yarns. Oh, the yarn was gifted from my friend Tracy, my Canadian fiber arts friend, and Akara yarns is a Canadian yarn. So yep, there we are, socks for my husband. Where am I putting this? All right, so those are my finished objects. Like looking back on February, I'm like, I feel like I say this every podcast, but I'm like, wow, like I really didn't do anything. But no, like I finished the sweater, I knit those socks, I knit 3 hats, and I have 3 works in progress. Like I've been doing stuff. I've been, things are going along. So okay, where do I start? Okay, I guess first, I'll talk about my Granny Stripes blanket, and I haven't gotten very far since we last spoke, and I think this is the one project that has really like taken a hit. Like I think I've like barely did 1 stripe since we last talked. But I did make it a goal of mine to start in March doing like 30 minutes of crochet every day, because like this is a long granny stripe blanket. It's probably as big as a king size bed, like laid flat. Like it doesn't, like I don't think it'll go over the edge of it, but I wanted it to be like a giant blanket. So like I see all these people making these granny stripe blankets, so they go so quick, but they're making like twin size blankets, so it's like I shouldn't be upset about it. But my granny stripe blanket is consisting of the yarn that I got for Christmas, the yarn advents, and that consists of stress knits and knitting Nakabi's little mini skeins. So, and I'm just alternating between the 2 yarns, between the 2 dyers. So I think I'm on day, let's see, on day 3 of 24. So, or 24 for one, and then 31 for the other. So it's going to take a while, but it'll come along slowly but surely. But I think that crocheting 30 minutes a day is really gonna make a difference. I have been finding myself, like when I watch hockey, I normally grab my crochet. I'm not sure why, but maybe I should just watch more hockey. It's kind of hard to watch hockey when your team is just like absolute garbage. So like I have a hard time with that. So yeah, so that's work in progress number 1, which will be a work in progress probably through the end of the year. Work in progress number 2, I am making a baby blanket for a young woman in my church, or a young woman in my church. She's having a baby. The baby's due in April. And I'm just now starting this baby blanket. But the pattern I chose isn't actually a baby blanket pattern. For some reason, I felt compelled to make the half and half triangles wrap as a baby blanket. So I'm not very far into it. Here it is. She's having a baby girl, which is why I'm doing the pink. Been doing the decreases a little bit. I have a little stitch marker that I got from my first kit that I actually bought from Kelsey Knitting Nakabi, the first yarn I bought from her. It came with this little stitch marker. I really like it. So yeah, here it is so far. I don't know why I was like, oh, I'll make the half and half triangles wrap and it'll be a baby blanket. I don't know why I thought I would do that, but but I'm enjoying it, and I'm already thinking about like actually making a half and half triangles wrap. I think I might make one for my friend, and like actually buying like the linen quill yarn. You know, invest in that for, I don't know if it would be probably a birthday present. Her birthday's in May, but yeah. So that's what I got so far. So, and I am using because it is a baby blanket, I am using cotton, and I got cotton from Hobby, and these are the two colors I picked right here. Yes. So, and this is the Hobby Rainbow Cotton, 100% cotton. Someone is sniffing me. It's fingering weight. What's the color? This is color number 46, this like dusty pink. And this is color number 89, this like peachy cream color. And I thought they'd be a fun combination. Very neutral, not like in your face, like bright pink, like obviously for a girl, but not like bows and polka dots, kind of like, you know, how like some like little girl stuff can be. Personally not a fan of it. But yeah, so that's what I've been using. I've been enjoying working on it. Like, this is a project, this has been like my on the go project, my, you know, stuff in my bag and bring to work project, instead of like a pair of socks as of right now. And I've been enjoying it. Like I said, like it's so easy. It's definitely TV knitting, and it goes by really quickly. I've been enjoying it a lot, and I really hope it turns out well. It is very drapey fabric, and I don't know if it's because of the needles that I chose or if it's supposed to be drapey, and I don't know if I should really care. Like, it's just gonna be a blanket, doesn't have to be structured, right? That's what it is. This is this woman's third baby. I never made, it wasn't until last year that I like started making baby blankets for women in my church. So yeah, that's what's happening with this one. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Like, honestly, like I'm excited to see how it turns out. And again, like I'm already like thinking about knitting another half and half wrap and actually making it a wrap. I'm definitely been influenced by Stacy of Stress Knits, because like she seems to be like knitting one. I think she's on like her 5th half and half triangles wrap. Like, I'm like, hey, if you like what, you know, if you like it, go ahead. Like, I'm definitely the type of person who, like, if I find like I do this with like American Eagle and Aerie all the time. Like, if there's like a sweater or a shirt or, you know, a hoodie or something that I really like, I'll buy like 3 of them in different colors. Like, I like to buy the whole rainbow. But yeah, so work in progress number 2, and it is in my Woodsy and Wild project bag. It has little butterflies on it. Butterflies and moths. I think there's one moth, and there's a Luna moth. A couple others. But yeah, but mostly butterflies. But you know me and my moths. I'm gonna take a tea break. Tea that I'm drinking today is winter, I believe it's called Winter Warmth. My friend, you know, like I talk so highly of her all the time. Kelsey, Knitting Nakabi, she also she has another, in addition to her yarns that she sells, she also sells herbal teas and herbal supplements. And this is one of her herbal teas that came in her winter solstice box. And like I said, I believe it's called Winter Warmth. It's very, it smells very, earthy is the wrong word, like spicy. So this is my first time trying it. I do like that a lot. I like just got a tea diffuser today. I used to have one and I don't know what happened to it. So I bought a tea diffuser today because I need to start drinking this tea. And I do have something else from Kelsey that I'm going to show you in a little bit. And I'm like, I gotta start drinking this tea. So here we are today. This is lovely. And it has a little bit of peppermint in it too. Like when you smell it, it has like a little bit of peppermint smell. Delightful. So yes, okay, now on to my next work in progress. Last podcast, I talked about how I was revamping my Make 9 and how I had changed 2 of them. Well, I've changed a 3rd. I feel like that's just what's going to happen this year. Is I'm going to change, like the Make 9 is flexible, depending on how I feel about it. But this wasn't that big of a change. So on my original Make 9, I had a slip over from Petite Knit, like a vest. I can't remember the name of it. Like, she has so many different sweaters and slipovers that I can never remember the name of them. But it was a slipover that had like a bit of a V-neck to it, and it was knit in like worsted weight yarn. So like that was my plan. This was going to be like the first of my Make 9 that I was going to make, this V-neck vest, a knitted vest, sweater vest, because the sweater vests have been so popular and I just wanted one myself. And I had all this Knit Picks wool, the Andes left over from when I made the Most Cozy cardigan, because like I had bought like double the amount that I needed based on what the app told me to buy. So yeah, I had like a whole other sweaters quantity of yarn. So I'm like, well, to get rid of this, I'll make a neutral vest that I could like wear over everything. So that was my plan, to make the V-neck vest. But then I saw more and more people knitting another vest by her called the Holiday Slipover. And that is knit with super bulky yarn, where it super bulky or bulky yarn and held double with mohair, and so that made it super bulky. And I was like, well, I just felt like so influenced, and I liked the way it was constructed. I kind of like it didn't look too chunky. You know how some like super bulky sweaters can look. Like, it didn't look that bad. I'm touching it now, like it really doesn't. And I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna go for it, and I'm gonna like go through this yarn quicker. So that is what I've been working on. I'm only like partially there. I did like the first half of the back, like probably to here, and then you join the shoulders and you start working on the front. So here's what I've got so far. You probably don't want that. I forgot I have this mic here. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on, is this vest. Sorry if you can hear my neighbor's music. People like to blast their music when they think no one's home. So this is what I've been working on. And my hope is to have this done again, like before it gets too warm, because like I already have like outfit ideas of what I want to wear with this. I'm really excited for it, and it's knitting up so fast. So the original pattern calls for size 15 needles, which is so weird to like. I like been going back and forth between this and my half and half triangles wrap, which uses a US 3, and then go into like these chonkers. So I knit the first like section for the back using the size 15, and I'm like, this is really drapey. Like, that's just like, you know, like it's very drapey yarn. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. And then I measured it to make sure, and I was like, because I didn't swatch because I didn't want to. And I was like, you know, like I've knit other stuff by Petite Knit in the past, and we have similar gauge. Like, I think it'll be fine. No, it wasn't fine. It was way too big. So then I had to size down to size 13 needles, and then I met gauge. So That is what it is. So I'm like a day behind. I gotta like tie some of this off. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's been fun. I've been watching back episodes of 90 Day Fiance and knitting this. Like it's been good. Yeah, I'm really excited for the end result, and I'm happy that it's using yarn that I already have in my stash. So yeah, I'm using the again, the Knit Picks Wool, the Andes, in the colorway Oyster Heather, and then I have this Hobby Diablo mohair, because I had bought this thinking that I was going to run out of the loft for this sweater, and I had like the perfect amount. Like it was perfect. So, and this color was like slightly off, but like it was just going to be like at the very bottom of the ribbing, so like I knew it wasn't going to be a big deal. So yeah, it's held together with this, and it definitely makes for, like, you can tell the difference. I mean, like, it's 2 different yarns, but like, let's see, you can tell the difference barely. There's like a slight color change with the added lighter mohair. But yeah, so that's what's going on with this one. I am waiting for another set of needles because I only have these 24-inch US 13, and I'm waiting for a 32-inch so that I can join the body. But yeah, and then once I join the body, it's just like smooth sailing from there. You just join the body, and then you add the collar. And then I can't remember if it's I-cord or like a little bit of ribbing on the side. And there's a split hem, and like, I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited to wear it over, like, I have like a like chambray shirt, or I have like some blue like not trousers. It's not a blouses, like blue blouses that I could wear it over in the spring. It's totally workplace appropriate. I'm excited for it. And maybe one day I'll make that V-neck sweater and make it like really oversized. I feel like that'd be really cool because it's super popular, but I don't know how popular vests are going to be in the next year or so. But I don't know. So yes, I switched out that V-neck vest for the holiday slipover. And that's going to be my first of my Make 9, which I'm finally getting to at the end of the second month of the year. But as I alluded to in the beginning, life has been just way too crazy for me to knit giant projects. And I'm going to start, and I'm already considering what I'm going to do for my next Make 9. I don't know if I want to do another chunky sweater or if I want to move on to something a little bit lighter. Like, yeah, I'm really thinking about the Bay Pullover by Jacqueline C. Slack. I just don't know what color I want to do it in yet. Like, that's the hardest thing, is picking a color. I don't know if I want to go darker or if I want to like continue with like this neutral kind of thing that I've been going with. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Maybe I'll do an Instagram poll, which, by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram already, do give me a follow. We're getting close to 1,000 followers on Instagram. And if I hit 1,000 followers, I will do a giveaway. You know, I love doing giveaways. So if I hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, like I said, I'll do a giveaway. It'll be a good giveaway. I hope it'll be a good giveaway. I don't think like any of my giveaways have been duds. I've had like pretty good giveaways in the past. So yeah. Okay. So that's all my projects that I've been working on. Again, like I feel like I've like barely done anything, but obviously I have this big pile next to me. So I did do something. So hopefully all these projects will be, except for the crochet project, because that's going to be a long term. I did have a goal in February to finish all, sorry, Blue's leaning on my tripod. I did have a goal in February to finish all my works in progress, and I did. Or my works in progress from January, and I did finish those. So I guess that'll just be, I'll just continue that goal to try to like finish up my whips from the previous month in the following month. Does that make sense? Yeah, like I don't want to like keep stuff sitting on needles for very long. Sorry, my nail is digging into my skin. So obviously fake nails, and it's digging into the skin, and it's making me uncomfortable. Okay, so those are all my works in progress / finished objects. Super excited for them. I'm really feeling good about my knitting. Feeling really confident about it. Like, I don't feel too pressured. Like I'm trying to like finish things super quickly or anything. Like, I feel like the pace that I'm going is a good pace. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. But I think that's it. Okay. And one last thing to talk about is I got a little acquisition. You know, we are knitting Nakabi stands in this household. Everything she does is perfect and wonderful and beautiful. And so, because she is the hardest working girl I know, she is doing 2 different yarn clubs. And one of them is a Herbology yarn club. And I signed up for that Herbology yarn club as soon as I could. I think like I was counting it down, and I went in and signed up for it. So this is the first installation of her yarn club, and I'll show you what it is. So I'll show you what I saw. I'm trying to like make it look nice. When I opened it, because I already opened it, I couldn't wait, but voila. So beautiful. So her the theme for this month was elderberries. So as we know, Knit Nakabi does Kelsey. She dyes all of her yarns naturally, and she uses all non-superwash wool. And so elderberries, she dyed the yarn with elderberries, and then included some little things in here that have elderberries as ingredients. So I guess we'll start with the yarn, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous sage green called Silver Linings, dyed with elderberry. It's a DK weight yarn. I don't know what I'm going to make with this. I don't know if I'm going to do a hat or a cowl. I'm enthralled with it. I hope this becomes a yarn that we can buy in her store, because I want to make a sweater out of this yarn. Like, it's like the perfect sage green. I love sage green. It's so beautiful. Like I opened it and I'm like, she's done it again. She has done it yet again, making a beautiful yarn. Like, oh my gosh. It never ceases to amaze me. I love her so much. Okay, that's the yarn. And then she also included some goat milk soap with elderberry from Anamarkara Farmstead. So we got some soap, goat milk soap. Doesn't really have a smell to it, or maybe I have to open it out of the plastic, Caitlin. And then a cute little, thank you for your purchase. And then, then she included this little card that explains, what elderberry is, some like great properties of elderberry and benefits, the history of the use of elderberry in herbology, and it's amazing. And then, of course, we get some loose leaf tea, because she's already doing the most. So you have to include her loose leaf tea, and this is her wildwood green tea, organic green tea blend, gunpowder green tea, elderberries, orange peel, and hibiscus. And I haven't even had a chance to smell it, so I'm gonna smell it live for you guys. So let's see. And I love green tea, and I love hibiscus anything. It's amazing. I can't wait to drink this. Oh my gosh. I'm and one more thing. More things just keep popping up in here. I forgot. And then you also get elderberry syrup from Liz and Lee. I don't know exactly what to do with this quite yet. Keep refrigerated Take once daily or 3 times daily to support your immune system. So it's like a little tincture. You drink it. So good for like your health, like kind of like a supplement. But that's amazing. I love it. And I think that's it. Like, but yeah, like what you get in her boxes, like you get more than what you pay for, honestly. Like it's like she does such a fantastic job with everything that she does. I love her so much. Like she's amazing. So yeah, that's her Herbology box set. She's also doing at least last time I saw, I can't remember if she ended up like stopping the pre-order. She was also doing pre-orders for like a sweater that was being made. I can't remember the name of the sweater. I'll put it here. Put it here. And then she has a second yarn kit, or a what's it called? Like another yarn subscription, yarn club. I think that one's more like for like mythological creatures. I think February's creature was gnomes. I think it was either gnomes or dwarves. But yeah, so there's a Herbology club, and then there's like the mythological creatures, or the or the fairy tale creatures kind of box. So, but yeah, I'm definitely so excited for her next box. I'm gonna buy one every time they come out, and because yeah, she does such a fantastic job with this. So yeah, that was my one acquisition for the month. And that's all I have to show you today. I hope you enjoyed this little podcast. It's not really little. We're pretty close to an hour. But I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell if you like, so you can be notified at every time I post. Be sure to like the video, because that really helps me be dispersed among YouTube, so that I get picked up by the algorithm and I get more subscribers and more people see, what I do here. And yeah, follow me on Instagram at the Cozy Moth Knits. I'm quite active over there. Not so much with posting, but I'm always on there like a couple times a day, like scrolling through, getting inspiration, talking to people. Yeah, definitely follow me over there. I'm also on Ravelry at Cozy Moth Knits, though I'm not very active over there. I normally only use it to like buy patterns. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this time with me. I really enjoy spending these times with you and getting to talk to you about what I've been working on, and hearing from you guys. I love talking to you guys. The next day or two after I post these videos, I get to, chit chat with all you in the comments. So if you, have anything you would like to say to me, go ahead and leave it in the comment. I really do like to, or I do try to respond to as many of those comments as possible. So I guess we'll just leave this here. Until next time, stay safe, everyone. Keep knitting, and I will see you all later.